Grand afternoon, divine chosen beings, and karmic Phil. I'm just sitting here reminiscing about my childhood a little bit, trying to put some more puzzle pieces together. And in the midst of doing that, I can hear a lot of people from my past, especially family members, getting their asses whipped at this time. I remember certain family members and or friends back in the day when a certain one would get a spanking, we would usually be told to leave the room or all around just leave the house and go find something safe to do. And I remember sometimes finding something safe to do would be going outside and riding my bike around the corner and still being able to hear the screaming from the one that was getting the whipping, the spanking. And this just brought back some funny memories to me. And the Most High continues to pour into me and to tell me to close my eyes and to cover my ears at this time, because there is a lot of karma being served out to those who tried to dish out evil doings to us and who tried to continue to abuse us, Divine Collective. And so, I pulled out this book a little while ago, and I keep it on my dresser because it's very relevant to me. As you see, the little young black cutie is petting on her dog, and they're at the vet, and she's got her dad in the background, and that looks just like my dad, my father, my true father, from growing up. A lot of y'all know a little bit about my background. I was illegally adopted as a newborn, pretty much, and sold off into a very vengeful, evil doing family. And the mother figure that I had to grow up with was ruthless, relentless, and savage, to say the least. So a lot of my time was spent with my adoptive father, who will always be my true father, my real father, like I will always say. And he shielded me as much as he could while he was here on this earth before he was taken out by her, by the Black Widow. And so, like I said, to sum things up on that, a lot of karma is going back. But I also was thinking about how Easter is coming up, and yes, we do know the story of the crucifixion and the resurrection of Yeshua, but there's also a flip side to that story, where they tried to create a folly day with it, with the bunny and the eggs, as a way to mock. But on the flip side as well, with the eggs, it got me thinking about reproduction and got me thinking about being fruitful and creating bloodlines, and how a lot of these evil bloodlines out here have tried to cleanse, I would say, their bloodlines by the sacrificing of bloodlines that have purity in them. And so, with Easter coming up, as well as we're talking about the eggs and reproduction, it got me thinking about my babies and how my babies were snatched away from me, so that I would be barren, so that they would be able to repeat a cycle and be able to manifest off of them, be able to siphon off of them, and at the end of the day, when they saw fit, because like I also say, they're their own self-ordained gods, they would be able to call the timing of their unalivings as well. I remember as a child being sick all of the time, and now that I have been collecting more and more puzzle pieces, it has been brought to my attention more and more some of the same things that I went through as a child, my children are going through. And you guys, for those of you out there, Divine Collective, that have had your baby snatched away from you, for those of you who have had family members deem you as having mental issues, deemed you as being abusive towards your own children, deemed you as not being suitable to be able to take care of your own children, and so they took them away from you. Just know that the tables have turned, and now everything is being swiped away from them, whether they like it or not. Because who are they to even come up against us in the first place and then try to repeat the cycle with our children? The audacity, as I will also keep saying, for these cynical and sinister people out here. We don't ask to be placed into backgrounds and environments. We're placed into them. For us divine chosen beings, yes, we endured a lot. Abuses in all the forms, in all the illies, as I will say. Physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, financially, all the least. Psychologically. And for a lot of us seasoned divine beings, we have been under the quote unquote MK Ultra program our whole lives, where we have been studied and where we have had people put into our environments to throw us off of our courses, to take us out of our true divinity, and to ultimately curse us. Because of the timing of the Most High and because of divine intervention, because of all the things that our fam Elise put us through all the things that the MK Ultra put us through, from all the associates that they sent our way to try and test us and try to test our gangster and our spirituality as far as our connectionship with the Most High. It's not looking good for a lot of these individuals out here that try to come up against us and our chosen divine babies. I know that my children have had to go through being abused sexually, mentally, psychologically, financially, mentally, all the least. Have been fed stuff to poison their bodies, to make them sick, as was done to me as a child, to break us down so we don't have the strength to stand up for ourselves when it's time to getting and fight. Have government programs out here kidnapping our children. Whether it's them paying our fam Elise to abuse us and then take our kids and abuse them, or whether it's from ICE, immigration, taking these poor babies, sending some of them back over to their homelands. But a lot of them they keep for their own benefit, their own pleasure, and for their own gain. And they sacrifice these babies. And it's more prevalent and rampant by the day, because they know their time is short. New World Order is here for sure, but not in the way that they thought it was going to go, not in the way that they thought they would be able to control. A lot of us are feeling the separation right now. A lot of evil has been going on, Divine Collective. A lot of our fam Illies just seen us as a bag of money, a bag of organs, a bag of bones. And for a lot of us, this was planned and ordained for us from the time we were born. A lot of these plots and plans didn't just start yesterday or last week, last month, last year. No, they started decades ago. So foul. My mother was outcasted from her family and sold off. And then she had me, and I was taken from her, and I was sold off. And then I had my older two children, and my families decided to slander my name and throw me out in the streets. And we're going to repeat the cycle. And thought they were going to get away with it. And a lot of y'all's families thought they were going to get away with it as well. It's really tear-jerking when you have to sit there day after day after day and be concerned and worried about your children who you are in great separation from. Because that was part of the plot and the plan, to gain control of them so you wouldn't have any control. It's really hard sitting in the moment and thinking about the things that you went through and knowing that those same exact things are going on with your own children. But just know this, divine collective of parentals out there, know that our children are divinely from us. And so the power and strength that we have in us is instilled within them. And the things that they have had to endure along their journeys while we endure along our journeys is basically creating a family of the Incredibles. All the way down to baby Jack Jack, which I have one of those right now, and he has surmountable powers, spiritual powers, since the time he was in my womb. And while I'm talking about that, I've said this before on my TikTok, but I'll say it again on here. For those of you who are pregnant right now, please stay away from all forms of toxicity, especially with those closest to you who would like to see nothing go for you, who would like to see everything up in flames for you. Stay away from those energies, because the closer that they think that they can get to you, the more that they think that they can have more power over your womb in all forms of creativity and productivity. All pregnancies that I've had were horrible. My first pregnancy, I tried to keep it quiet and keep it away from my illy, because I knew how vengeful and vengeful they are and were, and I didn't want them to have any close connect within that pregnancy. But I eventually did reach out and did tell them that I was, and from that time to the end of the pregnancy, I was ridiculously sick, in and out the hospital. Had hyperemesis with all of my pregnancies. Hyperemesis is where you vomit uncontrollably all day, every day. With my youngest son, I also had hyperemesis, and also going through diabetes, also went through a hernia surgery, also had COVID, also had quote unquote food poisoning. In and out the hospital with him. And while he was in my stomach, his little poor brain started bleeding because of all the dark spell work that was being thrown at not only me, but him as well. Dark magic was thrown as far as his motor skills, in which he is still catching up and trying to walk. When he was in my stomach, I was told that he was going to be born with Down syndrome, this, that, and the other, because of all the spell work that was being sent towards my pregnancy. And thank God, thank the Most High, thank you, archangels, ancestors, and spirit guides, for the protection over all my pregnancies, because ultimately I was supposed to be taken out while in my pregnancies. And if not, my children were supposed to have some kind of forms of disabilities. And I thank the Most High that they do not. They may have a few. My older son, he's asthmatic, and his foot hurts all the time. And my youngest son, his little foot is a little bit clubbed right now. And it's just certain things that my children have to endure right now from dark magic that was thrown at me during being pregnant. And it's really sad and uncalled for. And at the end of the day, it's to make all of us as a whole, from parent to child, to make us look like we're disabled, to make us look like we do have some kind of mental issues, so that they can gain control, take away, and take over. And so for you divine ladies out there that are in pregnancy at the moment, I just really encourage you to stay at peace and to seek peace and to seek refuge in the Most High. Because it's a lot that's being thrown out at this time. It's really just sick, sad, and sadistic, like I keep saying. Because at the end of the day, the ones that are throwing this dark magic, they once too were babies. They once too were children that had hope and joy before they were robbed of it. And then continued to repeat the cycle down into their children and their children's children and their children's children. And it needs to stop. I have these poor babies out here that are falsely adopted and sent off into abusive homes where they're eventually sacrificed. You have evil family members that want to outcast certain son babies from the family, and they sell them off for 30 pieces of silver. And they're sent off into abusive homes. You have parentals out there that want to put their children into competition with each other so they can take each other out. And where does all of this stem from? As I will continue to say, childhood trauma. I don't care how big, bad, and bold and tough you think you are. You could be all the way at the top of the food chain. You can have all the money in the world. To all you fake presidentials and kings out there. But at the end of the day, money doesn't buy healing. You have to do the work. If you do not sit down and address what hurt you when you were a child, then you're going to repeat it to your children and to other children and to other people. And time's going to continue to go on where nothing is healthy. Nothing's productive. Nothing's green. Nothing's fruitful. And a lot of y'all know that, and a lot of y'all don't care, and that's just fine. Because it's a new dawn, and it's a new day, and it's time for children to be able to go out and go play again, and to feel safe, and not to have to look over their shoulders, and not have to be swiped up into the unknown. Out here putting chemicals in these babies' food and their snacks and stuff, taking advantage of them, swiping their memories, and then conditioning them to go out and go do the same thing. That doesn't even make any sense. All for the almighty dollar. Because like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of y'all evil ones out there, y'all don't see us as humans. You don't see us as a person. You see us as a thing, an object, a money sign. And since that's all y'all can think about, all you can think about is greed, pride, lust, and ego, and the almighty dollar, all those dollars is getting snatched right from all y'all. And it's going to go into the hands of the innocent, of the divine ones who want to take that and go and pour out healing and love and hope for the world. A lot of us divine babies, when we were babies, we always wanted to help save the world, especially those of us that are abused as children. And because of that, a lot of people from our families and associates and frenemies and all that, they wanted to try and tear us down even harder and proclaim to be something that they're not. Wanted to take over our personalities and our attributes and our characteristics and portray themselves to be who we really are. But behind the scenes are out here doing the complete opposite. And for a lot of y'all religious cults and covens out there, how does it make any sense to say that you love God, you serve God, and that you serve others in humanity, but behind the scenes at nighttime in your cloaks and robes and your mask, your goat skull mask, y'all are out here taking out the innocent. And then the nerve and gall to wonder why God is punishing you and giving you his ultimate wrath. Why everything's being stripped. A lot of y'all gonna be naked and afraid, just like you had us. Or wanted us to be. And you're not gonna know which way the attacks are coming because you're gonna be blindfolded. You don't know where that punch, where that kick, or where that whooping is gonna come from. Or when it's gonna come. And that's part of your karma, like I'll keep saying. Because you had a lot of us being led blindly in the dark, stringing us along, keeping us distracted and busy so you could carry out your little tactics and plots and plans. How many days I've wasted, months, years, messing with people that were sent into my life to take me out. People that I showed genuine and poured genuine true love into them, and they were sent in to take me out and mine's out. Then gathered up groups, families, and individuals from around the world to come against Divine Collective. Not just me, but Divine Collective as a whole. Because a lot of my family members, they just thought that, they were going to get away with this little situation because, they thought I was the only one that they were doing it to at the time. But no, see, this is a prophetic currency of time. The return of the body of Christ, and we're here. And we're all moving different moving parts, but at the end of the day, we form a whole body. A body that a lot of y'all broke. Y'all broke Yeshua. And a lot of y'all don't even know what that even means. You should look it up. Broke over the will. Goes back to the ship of Christ. They used to break their bones over the steer, and have them gazing into the sun, wishing that the Most High would take them out because of all the pain they were going through. And now it's time for a lot of y'all to be broken spirit, broken pockets, and some of y'all really literally disembodied. Because that's exactly what you wanted for a lot of us, correct? Seeing us more valuable as organs on the black market. Or for our rich blood. Enough is enough. To my family and all my exes and all their families. Y'all really tried to do your big one, Plotting, scamming, scheming my whole life. and have the gall, the nerve, and the audacity to try and make me look like I'm a bad parent, when all I do is pour love into children, and y'all know that. That's why you had to go so hard and make me look like I'm not. And as I'll continue to say, everything that y'all have done to my children, every single thing, you will be paying for and accountable for. Not only in the court system down here in the physical, but most importantly in the court system of the Most High, which a lot of y'all are spiritually locked up right now as it is. Don't like that feeling, do you? Don't like that feeling of feeling trapped and not knowing what's going to happen next, and not knowing where your next dollar's coming from, and not knowing if you're going to eat the next day, huh? Should have thought about that. Had all this time, all that money. And up until current, the last of the little shmonies that y'all spent up was on dark spell work. Paying practitioners and paying hitmen, And Divine Collective, while I'm talking about the little spells, don't let these karmics and these evil doers out here try to put these little love spells on you. One, to either make you try and be in love with them, or two, to make you come back to them, three, to make you feel sorry for them in the current because of what they're going through and also what they will be facing here soon. We're not paying any more debt for them. Their karma is their karma. How dare they think that they could swipe out their karma with ours? No. We're in the land Dharma right now while they're facing their karma, period. I'm fed up. Been fed up. I'm just quietly and silently fed up right now, and fighting with my spirit guides and my ancestors and the Most High at this time. That's why I've been quiet for the last couple of days. When God says to move, I move. When he says to stop and be still, that's exactly what I do. I follow suit. I follow orders from the Most High and his command. Just thinking also, some years ago, around 2020, actually, when my awakening first started going, I remember having some dreams of getting locked up. Lots of dreams of getting locked up. And a few of those dreams, it was like a series. Every night I'd go to sleep and the dream would continue where I was locked up. And I remember my evil mother figure, adoptive mother figure, coming to visit me with my daddy. And her coming up there with a smile and a stance of pride, as if she was just so excited that I was in there. And daddy coming up there and pouring encouragement into me, letting me know that I'll be okay and that I could make it through. Towards the end of the series of the prison dreams, I remember being in the pod. It was about to be lights out, and all the ladies were getting ready to get into their bed. But earlier that day, they had been chuckling and gathering about like the little squawking hens that they were in the dream, as if they were plotting against my demise. They had a vendetta to carry out for my mother figure. Lights went out, and I could hear them in the dark, moving and bustling about, coming towards my way. And before the attack happened, I woke up. And that's exactly what happened for me within this last year. Again, I will say, with this cycle, this final cycle. Right before I was supposed to be betrayed and unalived, the Most High gave me a more awakened within my awakening, I would say, because I was already awakening some years back fully as far as spiritual warfare, because A lot of us know of spiritual warfare in a certain sense, but we don't understand spiritual warfare as far as it goes to dark magic, black magic. And so within this last year, learning about the black magic and about practitioners overseas and all that good extra goofy stuff that they do and go pay for, the Most High awakened me fully so that I was able to see exactly what was going on around me. And also to be able to see into things that were going on not around me, in the immediate surroundings. Because I've always had that third eye. I've always been able to see and hear. That's exactly why a lot of my family members, I should say dismembers, because I have dismembered myself from them completely, but biologically, adoptive, and otherwise, exactly why they see me so valuable to take out. And that's how a lot of people around you, Divine Collective, see you. They see that power within you. They see your healing powers. They know that you're game changers and world embracers. And they can't have that, now can they? But it doesn't matter what they want anymore. Because it stops with us. And this new age of things begins with us. And circling back to our babies, just know that for those of you who don't have your babies right now, they will be returned to you. And they're going to be part of your incredible team. And in unit and in formation as a divine family. We're going to be able to be superheroes of our own world and of the world. Because it is time. Like I said, ever since I was a child, I have felt for children who are going through abuse. That feeling of not feeling protected, not being loved, cherished, valued. It's not right. And to my children, don't you let anybody around you make you feel like you are not whom you are. And you are the Most High's. And I know y'all have gone through so much. But like I keep continuing to say, take what has been thrown at you and pour that back into the world and become game changers for the world. Go out there and be mentors and productive citizens of society. Not menaces. We are not going to repeat the cycles of what we have been through, period. It's about to be a whole new world for babies everywhere. And I'm going to make sure of it because that's my life's mission. And none of y'all back home or those of you who are around me right now are going to stop me from doing that. For a lot of us divine beings, we're getting ready to partner up with a suitable partners. About to be having support systems to be able to help each other carry out the mission. And the mission is these babies. Because these babies are our future. And a lot of us want to see a bright future. So with that being said, I just wanted to get that off of my heart and get that off of my chest, Divine Collective. I apologize for not being on here and pulling the cards. I haven't wanted to be into the energy of it right now because it's very heavy. Also, I have been trying to revitalize myself because a lot of dark magic has been thrown at me within the last couple of weeks. Still trying to take me out with death magic. Feeling nauseous, feeling dizzy, headaches. But I'm still going. And I'm going to keep going because nothing that any of y'all from back home think y'all can do or act. And also on top of that, all my exes and wherever y'all families are at, none of y'all can stop me. Period. And none of the mad. I know. Archangel Michael. None of the tactics and plots and plans that you thought you had are gonna work. None of the practitioners that you hired, none of their magic is gonna work. You might feel a few symptoms here and there, but at the end of the day, we're not able to be taken out, period. A lot of y'all wasted a whole bunch of money. Should have bought a tent, a sleeping bag. Because y'all about to be outside in the cold. Gonna be cold in the summer. It's gonna be cold ass summer for a lot of y'all. Congratulations. But for Divine Collective, get ready to enjoy the sunny days of the rest of our lives. Because it doesn't matter how much shade or how many storms these goofies try to throw our way, we always held the light within us. Could be in a locked up closet and still have the sun shining on us. So, continue to let the Most High shine upon you, and you keep shining upon the world. I shall, because the fallen stars they're fizzling out. Period. And it's time for us true divine stars to be put back into the astros where we are supposed to be, and be able to be a collective shine for the world. Continue to shine with Ra, the Most High. The biggest star. All right. So, Divine Collective, I love y'all. I hope something that I said can encourage you to keep going. Don't ever give up. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Continue to be the corner blocks, the stumbling blocks, to keep stumbling up these little tricksters. And continue to not only speak your voice and to speak your truth and stand up for yourself, but also allow yourself to continue or to begin to stand up for someone who hasn't found their voice or their strength yet. Continue to stand up for the innocent, for things that are going on that are not right. Continue to stand up for these babies who can't talk for themselves or protect themselves. Continue to stand up for those with disabilities and can't fend for themselves as well and don't know any better. And also continue to stand up for these innocent elderly who are being taken advantage of as well and being abused as well. It's the turning point, y'all. It's time to pass the baton, a lot of us. And it's time to use our voices to not only be teachable, but to be teachers. Which is what a lot of these so-called charlatans didn't want us to do or be. So I have said it, and so it is so. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Continue to go with the flow as you grow, and just know that the Most High, your ancestors, and your spirit guides are with you. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.